and welcome everyone. This has been an outstanding day, and to give a hand to everybody who's involved. So great. Every panel learned so much, such expertise and professionalism. So here to introduce our alumni panel, and this is just the final and fabulous panel for us, consisting of our alumni who have made incredible inroads in the music and entertainment industry. And we are all extremely proud of you. And all of you as students here should really see what our alumni are doing. They've graduated within the last 6 years. So these are the things that you will and hope to inspire you after you graduate. So I'm really proud to introduce, and I'm just going to name the names in the graduating year, and then we'll go on to our questions. So first we have Mr. Michael Houlihan, 2020 grad, personal assistant for Fred Schneider, and who with the B-52s, very, very, very famous. We have Matt Harris, 2019 graduate, founder and head of A&R for Hideaway Music Group. We have Ms. Clarissa Fahey, 2024 grad, singer, songwriter, performer. We have Mr. Jake Eifert, 2019 grad, live sound engineer, Patchogue Theater. And last but not least, Mr. Dan Cooney, 2023 graduate, royalties coordinator from Monarch Records. So now getting to our talking points, we have a great conversation here amongst everybody together. So why don't you all provide just a brief explanation of what you do, the company that you're at, and the brand that you have.
Great.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I'll start. So I'm with Fred Schneider of the B-52. Who knows who the B-52s are? Shocking. Actually pretty shocking. So after, Love Shack, they've continued to tour, and they're coming up on their 50th anniversary tour next year, and as a band. And I handle Fred's day to day. I mean, I get him to the airport, get him to the gig, sound check, rehearsal, whatever we're doing. I handle interviews with him. I help him with social media because he's turning 75. So it's not always easy to do Instagram Reels and TikTok, And yeah, we just have a great time on the road. And I've been doing it for almost 4 years now, almost right out of college.
That's awesome, yes. And yeah, Mike was one of those students that just got himself involved in everything and was always there for everyone, and he had that great attitude, so I can see why Mr. Fred Schneider, a very famous man, said he's going to get the job done.
Not always easy to work with.
Well, I'm sure he's an artist. He's been in the industry for many years, but that's great. So thank you. Hey, we'll go move on. Matt, we'll go.
Sure. Hi, my name's Matt Harris. I founded a company called Hideaway Music Group. It's an artist management company, an A&R consulting firm. So I manage one artist in the Bronx, New York, and then my company consults for several major record labels, from 300 Entertainment to Big Machine Label Group, Republic Records, Mercury, a few publishers. It's cool. I was previously the head of A&R at Warner Records for a division there, and I left that to start this company, which has just given me more freedom to work with more artists in different genres. But yeah, if anyone's curious about A&R or artist management, happy to answer questions after.
You started it off great. And Matt, what was your internship when you were here at Five Towns?
It was at WMA and then at Republic Records.
Yeah, so he landed some really good, and he was very forward-thinking with what he wanted to do. So those are the types of things that you guys all need to think about early on while you're here. So thank you. How about you, Clarissa?
Hi, so my name is Clarissa Fahey, also known as Rissa Lee, which is my performance name. I am a singer-songwriter, but I also co-founded a record label with my brother. I've been singing since the age of 3. When it comes to high school, I went to Talent Unlimited, came to Five Towns, so everything for me is music. So I'm still grinding. Like I said, you have to invest in yourself, so I still do work 2 jobs and do what I have to do, so yeah.
Okay, thanks, Clarissa. Yes, awesome.
My name is Jacob. I'm a live sound engineer at the Patchogue Theater, which is a beautiful theater out in Patchogue. It's
We were,
I do a lot of monitor mixing there. I do front of house mixing as well, and stagehand work. They kind of just throw me around to anything and everything. I assist the lighting tech with certain things. But yeah, a lot of the stuff that I do, I learned from working in the theater here, pretty much, just like getting a lot of experience with that. So yeah.
great, awesome, always involved too. And Dan,
So before I give my spiel, right, I just want to say I remember being a freshman in those chairs at one of these conferences, and I remember saying to myself at the time, man, I'm never going to be up on one of these. But I think ultimately that's a walking testimony to what you get out of being here, right? So I commend you all for being here and give yourself a round of applause. So my name is Dan Cooney. I graduated in 2023, and I interned for Soundbite Management, where I was a consultant for Cypress Hill and Public Enemy. And now I'm a royalties coordinator at Monarch Music Group, doing royalties. So that's been a really great experience, learning my strengths and weaknesses. But I'm also an independent artist, like many of you here today, too. So yeah, I look forward to connecting with all of you.
great. Yeah, so we'll hop around a little. Whoever wants to take the questions. I haven't thought to do the introductions, but how did you land your present position now? Can anybody speak to that?
Yeah, I'll say it took a lot of trial and error, when you graduate, especially me. I see AJ Setzer right there. I remember finishing the exit counseling. We were in the car. We're thinking this is going to be so awesome. We're finally done. But it didn't come easy right away. The position I have right now, it took a lot to get. I applied a couple different times, and I didn't get it right away. And it's easy to get caught up and get discouraged when that happens. But you just have to, as cliche as it may sound, you got to keep pushing along, and it'll come eventually. Good things happen to good people. So.
That's great. Yeah, one of the other panelists was talking about how, it takes a lot of trials, and even our keynote was saying, PhD in failure, but it's really not, because a failure definitely turns into success. So I think keeping your head up and above, and all of you guys are really graduated not too long ago. So sharing your piece for everybody is really important. So thank you.
For me, I could kind of trace it back to here, really, because I had a friend that I was in the audio program with here. His name is Phil. He was working at the Bolton Center in Bayshore, doing live sound. And one day he just was like, do you want a job? They're looking for someone who does what I do. We need a second person to kind of fill in for me and stuff. So I went over there. I met his boss. His name is Patrick, who I've been working with since then for 10 years. He basically said, yeah, if you want it, just come in this weekend and we'll get you started. So I worked there pretty much up until COVID, and I got laid off because of the pandemic, and the theater closed. They're open again, thankfully, but my manager at the Bolton Center, she got hired to work at the Patchogue Theater to be the director of the Patchogue Theater. So she remembered me, and she asked me to come work for her there. So I've been there for 5 years now. So
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been an interesting journey. But just having those connections can get you really far. Just keeping in touch with people, and I didn't think I would have a job with those people again, just because of how things went with the pandemic. But they liked my work there, and they called me back. So
How do they remember you, Jake?
The good thing about that theater in Bayshore was that it was a very small, kind of like a family-run type of vibe. It was a very small staff, so we all knew each other very well. So both my A1 there and my manager, they both, they got to know me very well, and we did a lot of shows together. So just, that connection just stayed strong even through the lockdown. So.
Right. Yeah. Then we talk about those networking and meeting people, and then kind of continuing those relationships are just so strong in every aspect. And you probably heard it from every panel today. So, anybody else?
I like to add on, just For me, just a lot of hard work and dedication, having that drive, being ambitious, having faith in yourself, betting on yourself every time, and yeah.
Yeah, I think if this is something you're gonna do, you need to have really, really thick skin. It's gonna be a lot more no's than yeses. Before I worked at Warner Records, I think I probably got 200 rejections applying to them through LinkedIn. So it's probably an equal amount with Universal and Sony. And I remember being a student here, living in Manhattan, having to take the bus back and forth just to be able to take classes and intern at Republic Records. Thought I did really well there, didn't get to stay on, had to figure it out, had to work at Viacom CBS as an assistant in the legal department. Didn't want to do that, but did what I had to do. Was able to move over to a record label that fell apart during the pandemic. It was cool. It was called Commission Records. They did like Made in Tokyo and Lil Dicky, a lot of rappers. 24 Hours, IDK. That fell apart through the COVID. Again, had to figure it out. It was like maybe 6 months, found a job at a publisher. Worked there for 4 years, signed a lot of great songwriters and producers. Felt there was nowhere to go after that. Felt I had learned it and there was no room for growth. So again, stuck, and it's just like, where do you, there's a lot of times you'll be stuck or let go. Even if you do well, you could do everything right and things could go wrong for no reason. So just having that drive to keep going and keep your head up and like bet on yourself and know that things will work out if you do the work. So just, yeah, I really do think you can create your own luck if you put in the work on your own time and prepare for these opportunities and put yourself in the right places.
You know, it's funny, your cohort of graduation, you know, you guys, the pandemic impacted you in a lot of ways. So that's like that setback, and, you know, kudos to all of you to create that tenacity to kind of pull through. And hopefully you all won't have that, but, you know, those are great stories to kind of demonstrate. What was your position at Warner, Matt?
I was the senior director of A&R for Second Estate Records and for Warner Records. So Second Estate was a joint venture of Warner Records that had artists like Too Rare and Nobu Woods, Kill Dill, LG Malik, more like up-and-coming rappers and R&B singers. Ultimately, that merged within Warner Records, and I basically just worked straight for Warner Records. I didn't really like being one of a million employees and not being as hands-on as I wanted to be. I also felt I was doing a lot of work for these people and bringing in a lot of talent, and there wasn't a lot of upside for me. Mm-hmm. So that really led me to my entrepreneurial brain I was like, I can do this for them, I could do it for myself. Mm-hmm. So it really gave me the confidence to, after doing it for a few people, to be like, okay, wait, I can do this myself and do business with them and not necessarily for them, if that makes sense.
Excellent, yes. Great, and great, in such a short period of time, really, you were able to kind of curate yourself into that, so.
It's like a 10-year journey, but
Yeah, but still, it's in the span, you know, of a career, it's you know.
For sure.
How about you, Mike?
I was stalking the band. No, but I would go to a lot of shows because of my parents, and I knew who they were, and I was a fan. And they would start to recognize me and bring me backstage and go to like some really cool events, like radio events, and exclusive events that the public wasn't open to. So I was like, all right, this is cool. And I really wanted to learn more about how to be in the business and work with bands. I'm a nervous guy. I don't like being in front of people. I don't like performing. That's not me. But I like doing behind the scenes work. So I asked Fred one day, I'm like, what do you think I can do? Not with you, but just in general, like advice. I came to him for advice. And he called me. He didn't answer then. He didn't have an answer for me. He said, let me get back to you on how to explain, because he doesn't know I guess that business part of it, as far as how to be a manager. He's never had to be a manager or a personal assistant. An artist. He was just always the artist and was being told or helped on what to do. So he called me one day. It was the day before Thanksgiving. I'll never remember it, a few years ago. And he said, "Do you want to try this? We'll fly you down to Georgia. You'll do 4 shows with us, and you'll see if you like it. You'll see if you like it. You'll see if we like you,
Right.
and we'll see if it works out." So I thought that was my experience. That's great. That's fantastic. Yes, absolutely yes. I took off work reluctantly, and I took a risk. And now I've been doing it for 4 years.
Wow. That's
And
amazing.
they keep inviting me back
Inviting it, and you just do
working.
anything that needs to be
Yeah.
done, and yeah.
It's really
you are-
incredible. I'm still blown that I'm still doing it.
Well,
It's out of this world.
I could see that. I could see why someone would want you doing everything that, taking control and doing the background. But you're doing pretty good being in front of the stage here. Okay, great. So just, what, I'm changing up a bit. As far as your experience here at Five Towns, what can you tell the students, something very valuable that you did during your tenure here at college that helped you in where you are now? Anybody?
I joined some clubs,
Okay.
and I was involved. I was student government president. SGA was amazing to be a part of. And Natalie was in that with me, too, as the vice president for a while. And we just had a lot of fun planning events and getting involved, taking yourself out of your comfort zone, out of that box that I was stuck in for a while. And it's not easy. It's really not easy to do. But once you break out of your shell, and that's what Five Towns really did for me. It broke me out of my shell.
Yeah, and doing clubs and all those things that you do in a club and organize and prepare and set up and whatever, that kind of segued into what you do for the B-52.
Absolutely.
So those little things that you don't think are impactful definitely are, 100%. Anybody else?
If I may add on that, I think, Mike, that's really, it's really great you got involved. And like you said, you kind of broke out of that comfort zone. And I think the same goes for everyone here. Like, as far as if you're a student, it really starts with you. I know when I was here, there were a lot of freshman showcases, artists being artists, a lot of performances, right? And maybe not every artist or genre was my cup of tea, but like I made sure I went up to everyone afterward and was just like, "Hey, like that's really cool. Let's connect." Just getting to know everyone, because like this is your scene, this is like, it starts with you guys. And I know some people might think, oh, like they're too cool for school or whatever, but just make yourself known, make yourself present in every single room that you're in, whether you're into hip hop, whether you're into indie rock, it doesn't matter, there's something for everyone here. So.
And this is really a cool school, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody is cool. They're in the industry. They're doing really amazing things. And it really, to me, and it's not about me, obviously, but to me, it's so great for me to see that a student is maybe a film student, but then is also an artist or a theater student who is, an incredible dancer. So you guys have a mix of many talents. So utilize them. Ms. Spencer.
I wanted to add on, I would just say applying yourself and knowing what you want, and then also asking for help, just having some professors being able to help me and answer those certain questions that I needed answered. And again, like I said, having that drive and dedication, I live in Staten Island. I used to come out here every other day to travel to Long Island, and I also have a daughter, and that's what made me come back, because I wanted to show her that you did not stop anything. Mommy still got this degree, and we're here. So this is what I'm doing it for. So
That's a great role model, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think too, just do the work. It's really easy to just be like, fuck this, and skip class and that. And we're all artists, and we're all, don't have to go to class, but do it. And sit in the front and pay attention. And that's going to get you a good internship. And that's going to attract the right people. And that's going to get you in the right rooms and meet the right people. And I didn't know anyone. I'm dyslexic. But I made sure I got Dean's List because I needed an internship. I didn't know anybody in this business. And that's just, that opened a lot of doors, so do the work.
And yeah, jumping off what Matt said, really when you're here, I think the thing about this school that attracted me when I was looking for a college was I noticed how, because of the size of it, there's so many hands-on opportunities that you can get. Just because there's less like competition that I've seen in other schools where it's like they really kind of keep you, especially like in an audio program, they really try to keep you more reserved like in the first 2 years or 3 years, where like you can't really do a lot of like hands-on stuff because you have to kind of like first learn the technical stuff first. But here it's like if you want to be an engineer, you could just do it. Like you can just go up and say, you know, is there anything I can do to get hands-on experience? Like I would just, I worked in the studios. I was a studio manager, and I learned a lot from doing that, like working with other students. I like produced and engineered for other students when I was here, like working on their music, and that helped me like kind of develop my style of engineering and like how I like to approach that. But on like the theater side of it too, like there were a couple of openings like in the theater to do like the musicals and stuff, and not a lot of kids like wanted to do it because it wasn't really like their ideal kind of like setup for it. They wanted to do like concerts and stuff like that, but if you don't get that kind of like experience of like running a show yourself, like even if it's not the genre of music you want to do, like it really gave me the tools to take jobs outside of here and just be like, yeah, I know how to use like this console or this piece of equipment. I know how to set up a stage and run a show like with myself or just with like a small crew. So, when you're here, like take advantage of every opportunity. If you get asked to do something that maybe isn't really like your cup of tea, you never know like what it could lead to. You could always just like gain knowledge from every little event that you work or every opportunity that you take. So yeah, it really goes a long way.
Absolutely, for sure. All great, great things. I mean, really what you even said between being in the classroom and being present to, your professor is not going to recommend you for an internship or a job if you just come to class late and don't do your assignments and don't show. So what Matt said, speak to that. Be interested in what the faculty say to you. They're really important mentors. And, what Jake said, there's so much hands-on opportunity. It really is like what Professor Machado does. He gives the kids so much opportunity that they are so ready to get out into the world and just segue right in. So great. And so what, I know the entertainment industry, and you guys are all, new in. What's the, there's a lot of stress, and I know the other panel was talking about that. What are the types of things that you do to manage the stress? And even coming into new experiences and not being maybe in the industry as long as others. What are those types of things that you can share with our students that might help you manage kind of stressful situations and things that happen to you in the industry?
Yeah, if I may, everyone here who works at this school has your best interest. I know there's going to be days where it seems like that might not be the case. But they really do, and they want to set you up for success. I know earlier this year, I'm still getting used to my position. It was very stressful for me, and I still speak with Christy and Mary about it. I still call them, and I'm like, hey, how do I navigate this? Or what's something I can do to put myself in a successful position here? And they really do care about you and take the time to help you. So don't take that for granted.
I think, that's a great point. Because I think that applies too to just any job outside of here that you might have. Sometimes, for me, I try to, if I have a stressful day at work, because working with artists can be stressful. Working with, working in a live setting can be stressful just because of the unpredictability of it. You never know what could happen, and there's the time crunch that comes along with it. But I try to take those stressful experiences, and instead of kind of looking at them as difficult, it's at least I learned how to deal with this situation. So if it happens again, I can approach it in a way where I've done this before, so I have experience in how to navigate it. So I think early on, you'll find when you do internships or anything outside of here, it might seem overwhelming to try to like adapt, but all of those like difficult experiences or stressful experiences are equally as important as like the positive ones that you take from it, because that's the entertainment industry is all of that stuff. It's fun, it's chaotic, it's stressful, but it is like rewarding too. So, you know, just really take advantage of like any situation that you get in. It's pretty much what I would say.
Absolutely, that's great. Yeah, it's and don't be, you know, students come in all the time over here, and everybody experiences that. You want to beat yourself up for an experience that didn't happen. So just something doesn't happen the way you think it should. You know, you turn it around. And I know I'm the ultimate queen of positivity, but you really do try to make it into some kind of experience learning that could help you to the next step.
For me, being that I am an artist, I'm big on like self-care, so I'll say like I like to meditate, go do some yoga, or like I said, take a journal, write some lyrics out, and again, don't be ashamed to ask for help when you need help. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, definitely working with artists and record executives is very stressful. Finding new artists, just all of it is very stressful. Every day is stress, honestly. I have severe anxiety. I'm pretty quiet and reserved, but a lot of anxiety. I used to smoke a lot. I think the best thing is really just wake up and like go for a run, go for a walk, like clear your head, and you'll work harder the rest of the day.
A lot with body and mind, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
It really helps. Yeah.
it definitely does.
Definitely like take time for like your interests outside of what you do for work.
Yeah.
Like try to like remind yourself that it doesn't have to be work every day. Like you can try to like balance that with like other stuff that you like to do to kind of like reset your brain. And then you'll approach your job in a much more like refreshed, kind of relaxed state of mind, you know, because you've been doing more of these things that you enjoy on top of it. So hobbies and meditation, stuff like that's all really important.
Absolutely, yeah. It's never, you should always make time for yourself in any way that you enjoy. That with student and a working, you know, forever. That's really important.
Oh, and also self-reflect.
Yes.
Well, like you know, figuring out where things went wrong, and then going back to the drawing board and writing it over, and then trying it out. So.
Absolutely. How about you, Mike?
Well, it's not always easy. You're on the road. We just did 13 shows with Devo. We just flew back from Dallas, and now there's no more work until April. So what do you do? So I run a record store in Patchogue, record stop. So
And
you
what
do
is-
that in between.
Yeah, and that's awesome.
And we have so much
Best of
fun.
both worlds, really.
It's a lot of fun. But you really do miss out on things. You know, you miss out on birthdays. You miss out on what's going on in your home life.
When you're away.
When you're
Yes,
away.
Yeah,
You know, we were on the road for 3.5 weeks.
yeah.
Not that long. That's really not that long in this business. You know, tours are way longer. It was a really quick run, but you know, you're flying and you're dealing with people that are older. You know, they're in their 70s, but they know how to have fun too. Like we still party, party too much sometimes, but it's not all about that. They're the fun party band. They're considered the world's greatest party band still. And it's just about a fun time. But back to what everyone was saying, it's still hard work, and you have to find that balance. If you don't find it, you'll lose your mind.
Yeah.
You really will.
Yeah, and do they do things that like kind of relieve stress? Because I know like
No, they make it more stressful.
They make it more stressful. Yeah, in there, you know, I feel like, you know, a lot of times these artists, you don't realize, I mean, many of you do, what a professional, even though
Right.
it's like fun, we see it fun from the consumer side, you know, but
Behind the scenes is not
Yeah.
always fun.
no, not always
It's
fun.
train, bus, plane,
Yeah, there's a lot.
hotel,
Yeah,
another hotel. You know, we switched hotels a couple times because it wasn't up to their standards.
right,
It is what it is,
right.
you know?
And then the planes.
There's nothing better
do
like
what
a
you have
nice
to do.
hotel AC. Oh, it's so crisp. I love it.
We've stayed at amazing hotels, and then you stay at hotels that are just like, you know, no water in the room. You know, we have basic standards, you know.
Right, yeah. And then you had to just pull through
They're
it.
really not, they're not divas. They're really amazing people to work with.
I'm sure.
And a band. There's just 3 of them, 3 original members. But
That's you don't
they're-
hear of
they're
that too
amazing.
often.
No.
I think, yeah. So that's pretty special.
they're really down to earth. They're not, you know,
And good role model for you too. right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you are to them, I'm sure.
to learn.
Bring youth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. And we have a bunch of 30-year-old people as well because we want to keep it fresh and you know, social media is really important. So they're trying to build their social media
Mm-hmm. Their brand,
presence as
yeah.
well. But the old videos still do the trick.
Oh, yeah. Those old videos are iconic for sure. So let me talk about, you know, we kind of touched upon it, but like a challenge. What's been your greatest challenge or a challenge that you've had along the path past graduation? Anybody want to talk to or speak to? I know some of you expressed challenges, but a specific challenge that,
I mean, I think definitely COVID was a big challenge, just because of
Yeah.
how it like restructured the industry. Because I feel like, you know, if I could speak for, I don't know if like for all of us, but like I feel like when we were here, we were learning about the industry and what we were going to be getting into. It changed like
yeah.
like immediately. You know, it was like obviously not entirely different, but it was like there was a new way of looking at it and having to navigate that. But I think like having that first job I had at the Bolton Center, and it looked like I was, you know, moving up in that job, and it was going to be like a pretty permanent thing for me. And then it, you know, having it go away like that overnight, it was a challenge, and I didn't really know where to go from there. But it kind of forced me to like find, you know, alternatives that are also in the industry, but, you know, I could apply the same knowledge that I got from here and from the theater I was working at to do those jobs. Like I was taking more jobs like in studio work because there were studios that were opening up again, coming out of the pandemic, and they were looking for studio assistants, they were looking for interns. So I just kind of like jumped on those kind of opportunities. And even if they didn't really like, you know, even if it wasn't like I wasn't making the same money I was making like at the theater, like I was still able to do engineering, which is what I wanted to do, you know, every day. So I was just grateful for those places, you know, in the meantime. And then eventually I got that call from my old manager, and she was like, yeah, I have a great position open for you if you want it. So, you know, it just persevering through like that sudden change of my career, like it, you know, is how I got to where I am now. And really just kind of the way I think of things now is like, if something like that were to happen again, at least like I know that I have like a network that I can always go back to, like whether it's with here or, you know, any of the theaters I've worked at or the studios that I've worked at, like can always like reach out to people and, you know, see if there's anything that I could do to help out. So, yeah.
It's great. They were speaking about that at one of the prior panels, you know, creating that network and continue to reach out in times of where,
Yeah.
you know, to kind of rethink out of the box now for the next step. Great. Thanks, Jake. Anybody want to add?
To add on, like you said, like currently right now, like I still work 2 jobs. You know, you got to invest in yourself. I do have help with my brother as well, but it feels good when you can actually invest in yourself. So I do what I got to do to get to where I need to be. So, yeah.
Well, I see we probably should be wrapping up soon for questions. But this wasn't on the original list, so if you don't want to answer this, you don't need to. But can you tell us one fun fact about yourself? You can do a pass, it's no problem, but one fun fact that the students might want to hear.
I'm not fun at all.
Oh,
So
you're not? Okay, wow. You're surprising me now, yeah. I know, sorry I'm throwing you guys, but well, now we can just switch over to the questions, it's fine. I mean, it doesn't have to be totally fun, it could be just something interesting, you know.
I also make music. So
Okay.
yeah, and I've been doing. That's really what got me into this in the first place. In high school I was producing my own music, and I found out that I wanted to do engineering from that, but I still make my own music like almost every day, and I help run a small record label too with my friends. So just like even though it's not like my main job, like I still always love doing. It's one of my hobbies. Really, it's just like still continuing to like write music, and I'm trying to perform music more often now. So it's just
Great.
music is fun. Yeah.
And that's the passion, and that's what's so
Yeah.
wonderful about even being here at Five Towns, just seeing everybody's passion. It almost crosses over for sure. So, anybody else?
One just came to my mind. So I definitely want to go back to school eventually to get my master's in psychology, because eventually I want to help other people with being a therapist or a guidance counselor, being that guy to help other people, So yeah.
I love that. Maybe you can use your music and
Yes.
into that as well. Yeah. How about you, Matt? You want to share anything or no?
I play soccer on Monday nights.
Ah, okay, that's fun. Okay, that's fun, and that's probably stress relief a little, unless you're
Yeah, no,
super
it's-
competitive. I don't know.
It's good to be competitive and to have hobbies outside of music. Music kind of, if you ask my wife, it just kind of consumes every conversation, and when it's your life, it's all you think about and you talk about every day, and it's good to have other things outside of that. So.
Absolutely, absolutely, that helps a lot. Anybody want to add anything or offer a tip or anybody have any questions?
We could do. I was just gonna say, like I mentioned, as everyone on here and many people in the crowd, I'm an independent artist, but I also like to consult. That's something I'm looking to branch into a little bit more. So if there's any independent artists in the audience, if you want to come find me after, let's connect. I'd love to get to know you guys more. So.
Great.
I'll add something. Going back to the record store, we are looking for artists to perform in our event space. So come see me after and let me know what you do. I'm open to all kinds of music, original music. I would love original music to showcase you guys there in our new event space, because our business just turned 50 years. So
that's
we expanded, and we have a little event space back there. It's intimate, but it's very nice. So.
It's a great store, by the way.
I
Thanks.
heard
Like one of my
amazing
favorites.
things.
It's
It's
an
a
awesome
catch-all,
place.
right?
It is.
Okay, so opportunity here, opportunities. All right, great. So I know there's a couple questions out here, so yeah. You want to stand up? I don't know what. Yeah.
How y'all doing? Y'all good? Thanks for coming and talking. I got a statement. If y'all looking for artists, I'm right here. You don't gotta look too far. You feel me?
There we go.
And my question is to anyone who wanna answer, what would y'all have done differently while y'all was in school? That when y'all look back, what would y'all done differently?
I think it depends on your personal goal. So as an artist, I would be making music as much as possible, posting content as much as possible. If I was on the business side, I'd be trying to meet people and really do the schoolwork and make sure you're getting those internships.
Thank you.
To add on, like same thing, like creating that team and utilizing, the people that you have around you. So definitely everybody is different and has a different superpower. So use that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would definitely say networking. Like I would definitely. I wish I would have done more of it. Even like I did.
Yeah.
I did quite a bit of it, but I still would have. There's always more you can do. Like there's never enough networking that you can do. It's like the most important thing in this industry. It's like it takes you, anywhere you want to go.
I think someone said it best earlier. You're here at the conference right now, and you're exactly where you need to be. So give yourself a pat on the back for being here today.
I would step out of your box if you're in one. I know I was, so that's what I can relate to. Join a club. reach out to someone that you might not know, get to know them, make friends, or learn about what they want to do. That's it.
Hi, my name is Jody Vale, professor here. Hi, Natalie. And also one of the station managers at the radio station. And this is the first time that I've been at the MEIS that I've heard the word radio. And I do appreciate that there's so many students here, not only from music, but mass communications, who are doing an incredible job of filming and doing the videotape and getting the audio. And I was just wondering, since I've been doing radio for about 3 decades, you were talking about A&R, and you were talking about artists and developing artists and things like that. What is your experience with radio and A&R and working with programming and promotions?
I will say, for some of my original music, as far as reaching out to radio, sometimes all it takes is an email or a conversation. You know, you'll be so surprised. Like, you know, I've sent emails regarding my songs to get radio play, and I'll be like, oh, like, you know, they'll probably won't get back to me, whatever. I'll send this email anyway. And it's amazing because they actually do get back to you, you know? And, like, it's just like there's so many things that people don't try to do because, like, they think nothing will come from it. Like, that's holding you back. You never know, like, who you're going to be speaking to or who you're going to be in a room with. But that's my experience, you know? So.
Radio always needs new artists and, you know, fresh new artists. And was it you who was working with Republic Records?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I remember them bringing along an artist named Taylor Swift once to my radio station. So thank you. But I was just wondering, how do you think radio still influences the music industry? And what do you think that relationship looks like in years ahead?
Yeah, I think it's not the end-all, be-all the way it was before you had to be on radio to be known. Now I think it just elevates success. Like, you don't need it to be successful, but to be like Teddy Swims, to like really be on every radio station and be heard like in Europe, that takes a level of promotion and radio. But I think the only way you really get there on your own, just from an A&R's perspective, is you have to do what you can first. You can't just... It's really hard to ask people for favors, so you just have to do what you can first on your own, whether that's TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, or there's a ton of free platforms. Like, you don't have to invest your money, you can invest your time.
I think from what I've seen in working in live audio, like, radio still has a big connection to the community. A lot of shows that we have are sponsored by like local radio, and there's always like a host that comes out before the show, and they open for the band and they introduce them, and like they always have like a big reaction from everyone who's going to see the show. They help draw in, like, for us, like they bring in a lot of people to see our shows because you know these people are listening to those radio stations and they know these bands that are coming in. So I think like community is still really important with radio, like, and building like that kind of connection between the artist and their listeners. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Just a question for the panel. What's your guys' favorite movie? I'm just curious. No, I just like movies.
That's tough.
I'll show you my phone screen right now. It's Edward Scissorhands.
Oh,
standing
that's a
in front
good
of
one.
a dinosaur.
That's a good one.
So
That's a good one.
that's my
I'm
favorite.
a hopeless romantic, so I'm gonna say Titanic.
That's another good one.
I'm gonna say probably Goodfellas, but that's a really tough question.
Too many. Grease.
I think for me, probably either Stand By Me or Love and Mercy, which is the Brian Wilson biopic. Probably my two favorites.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much for the panel. I'm actually an alumni, so this is more for you guys, but asking that for the independent artists in the crowd, I heard you guys bring up indie labels that you run and are working on. I know in the previous panel they said to focus more on the distributor and not trying to sign as soon as possible, but as you guys have indie labels, could you plug them and tell the young artists and the audience what you guys can bring to them in their music?
The label that I help run with my friends is called Polybrain Records. We're based in like the tri-state area, and we like to represent like indie music, hip hop, like electronic music. We try to like really just represent that kind of DIY approach to music and producing music. Yeah, and we're always open to, bring on other artists. So, if you guys want to talk, feel free. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think just experience as far as internships and positions aside, right? Like, there's also been instances where, when you're a DIY artist and you're an indie artist, there's things where it's like, oh, like this page got taken down, or how do we deal with like the Google Knowledge Panel like mixing you up with another Dan Cooney, because that still happens today. But navigating those things, like some people forget like the simplest things, and just having like an extra voice or advocate can kind of steer you in the proper directions, no matter what it is. So.
As I am every day learning, eventually I would want to have, internships for students here as well. So that's something that I'm working on. But right now I'm just trying to make a name for myself first. And then once that's going in, then internship and everything will just start to make sense, full circle. So.
Thank you.
Even though that's wrong that I've said that. In your time here, would you say the audio program was a great program or the greatest program?
We knew you were going to ask that, Professor Machado.
I think it was the greatest program. Yeah. It was awesome. Like I'm really glad that I decided to come here, just because like I learned so much with being in the studios here, being in the theater here, and it's gotten me lots of great connections. So, and obviously you're a big part of that, so I appreciate it.
You are wonderful, Professor Machado. Anybody else? Question? No? Is there one thing that kind of, while you were here, kind of like a light bulb went off to what you want to do? Or was it something that was kind of just not like the light bulb, kind of gradual?
I have to say it before I forget, because it's short-term memory loss or brain fog or something, but John Blen's class, Professor John Blen.
Okay.
I don't think teaches here anymore, but he was teaching a class, I think of 6 or 7, very small class that signed up for business management. Mm-hmm. And he said 2 or 3 things. They were sentences. I forget what they are right now, but they were tips and tricks on what to do when you work with artists.
Yes.
And one was write in a notebook and take notes about what to do and what not to do. And then if you make a mistake, how to fix it, or fix it and learn how to fix it. Mm-hmm. So just taking his class alone has stuck with me this whole way, and I still remember the things that he said, and I have the notebook.
That's awesome. Yeah, and he has such a wealth of information as well. I mean, as all of our faculty do, but yeah, that's great. I think that writing things down in a notebook, I know you guys, cell phone time, everything's in the cell phone, but sometimes writing pen to paper really is valuable.
Absolutely.
Great. Anybody else?
I would say for like all my music business teachers, they helped me with just covering myself, just making sure like everything is copywritten right, everything, making sure that you have your money, the revenue just covering yourself. You don't want to get played in the industry. So that's why, for me, I was just like big on, I need to do my own record label. And then eventually, you know, when things happen, everything blows up, we'll get there. When we get there, we'll figure it out. So, yeah.
Great. So that's thanks to Professor Heyman and Professor Colfin. Yeah.
Lou as well.
And Professor Playa, too, of
Yeah.
course. They're all here. Power team. How about you, Matt?
I think just really like have a goal, but also be open to like other opportunities. Like I came to this school thinking I wanted to be a booking agent, and pursuing that, it led to working at a record label, and I didn't even think that was a possibility. I thought that was like something you do in the movies. Like I didn't even think you could really do that as a job, to be honest. So I was just just have a goal and like work towards it, but also show up, because you never know what other opportunity might present itself that you didn't expect.
Any other questions? No? Oh, in the back. Here we go. We have a few more minutes, right? Okay.
How you doing? Thank you for all your guys' information. It's great. I just wanted to ask Matt a question.
Sure.
I've also been interested in A&R too, but I wanted to ask what are things that interviewers are looking for, or that you would look for in someone that you're trying to hire, or like things that people really look for in someone,
Yeah, that's it's a very painful question. The answer is nobody's looking.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
No, it really is. My biggest advice is don't wait. Don't ask someone's permission. Just go do it. Like go, if you believe in an artist, go sign and manage that artist. Like make it happen, and people will notice and they'll come to you. But nobody's looking to help you. You gotta make it happen.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
No? Well, I think we'll wrap it up so that maybe you guys can meet individually if you'd like to talk with one of our alumni. But you were all so fabulous. And we are, again, Five Towns, we're always so proud of our graduates. And for you guys are just incredible role models. And we really wish you the best of luck. And thank you for taking time out of your busy days and we wish you all the best of luck, and we hope to hear back from you very soon. Thank you.
Hey, everyone. So that concludes our conference, the Rise of the Artistpreneur. Thank you all for coming out. Feel free to stick around and speak to our panelists. There are some also outside if you want to speak to them. There's some information in the back on music industry organizations. Feel free to check that info out. Nick will be happy to share that with you. And thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your day.